yourself in 5 years' time? This is a question that I'm sure have all been asked, whether by a school counselor or maybe at a job interview. Personally, I always used to think in my head, like, I don't know, I can't predict the future, I have no idea where I'm gonna be in 5 years. But what if we did know? Tarot allows us to have a look at the future. It gives us insights into questions just like this. And so today I'm going to be outlining a little bit about the history of where tarot comes from, how the gameplay actually works, and then after that I will show you all how you can use tarot in your everyday life. So the history of tarot is actually highly debated. It's not completely known where tarot came from. Some people say that it dated back to the 13th century. Most say that it came from the 14th century, an early Renaissance in Italy. And you can find a lot of information online about this, and the encyclopedia actually has a really great article about the history of tarot. So it was a variation of traditional 56 card deck. It was a variation on just playing cards. And so they added a 5th suit to the original 4. And that was comprised of 22 cards numbered 0 through 21, each one becoming more powerful than the next. And those cards were used to trump the other 56. So they were just a special kind of booster card. And it didn't become a fortune-telling game until 17th century, towards the end of the Renaissance in France. And so we use the traditional Venetian tarot deck to this day. It is comprised of 78 cards. The 22 cards that the Italians created are known as the Major Arcana. And here are some of the Major Arcana cards here. These are the most iconic: the Sun, Moon, Death, and the Lovers. Those are all very well known. So this is the type of illustration that was drawn on them throughout time. And then we have the 56 cards that were the basic deck, and those are called the Minor Arcana cards. And the Major Arcana symbolize big events and big changes in your life. Those are the major players in your tarot readings, while the Minor Arcana, they are more so consequences of the Major Arcana, kind of more clarifying what the message might mean. Here I have the 4 suits of the Minor Arcana. Here I have the spirals, mirrors, scrolls, and stones. Traditionally in Venetian tarot, they are the mirrors, or they are the cups, wands, swords, and pentacles. It really doesn't matter. They all have the same meaning as long as you keep it consistent. So my tarot deck looks a little bit different than ones you might have seen online or in videos, but it is the same deck. So traditionally, in order to read tarot, you have the person you are reading for shuffle the deck, connect with the cards, and ask a question. For example, where will I be in 5 years? And you use a spread in order to answer that question. So the most basic spread and most well-known is the past, present, and future spread. So you have your question, where will I be in 5 years? Your past card tells you about your past, your present card tells you about your present, where you are now, and then your future card kind of clarifies how those two things combined will get you to where you are going. Each card has a very specific meaning, and those are outlined in the pamphlets that you get with your tarot cards and in books like this, the Tarot Companion. And each card has a very black and white meaning. However, every single reading is going to be different because it depends on the combination of cards that you get. So maybe a Major Arcana card with a Cup card, that's going to be a different meaning. It just depends on your intuition and how you feel. And so reading is very, very difficult. That's the part that a lot of people struggle with, including myself, is having the intuition to be able to see the cards and understand the story that they're telling. author Ina Semetsky, in her book Resymbolization of the Self, describes tarot readers as being bilingual because the way that the cards communicate to you is a language in itself. You have to look at the photos, you have to look at the photos in comparison to one another, you have to look at the basic meaning in these books, and you have to understand and be in tune with how you feel when you look at the cards. And so all of that combined is how you read tarot, and it takes years and years and years of practice, something that I hope to be able to do one day. But for now, I am studying the basic meanings and the photos. So tarot's uses. Tarot is used typically to connect one to their higher self. So to become more spiritual as a person. And you can also use it to connect to higher powers in the universe, whether that be God or maybe Greek goddesses and gods you connect to more, whatever deity or being you serve, you can connect to them directly through tarot. Tarot is very accessible nowadays. It's not a closed practice. Anybody can go learn tarot and pick it up and figure it out. Not everybody's going to be intuitive enough to understand how to read it, but anybody can use it to their advantage. Here's some examples of tarot in kind of modern day social media. So here's a YouTube video. This is how I got into tarot and how I started reading, because I watched other people do it on videos on TikTok and YouTube, and there's so many great resources out there. These books are very, very helpful. I picked these up in Bloomington. I bought these in the mall. So that's how accessible tarot is for everyone. And so now that you have a bit more of an understanding of what tarot is, where it came from, and how to begin, I hope that you can all use tarot in your daily lives to connect to your higher self and maybe your higher power. Thank you.